Okay, I'm going to make the fastest overview possible of the Brick Box Studio. This is a massive vision. We are definitely not going to cover all the pieces, but I'm going to go as fast as I can with this massive vision in this overview video. So get ready. Here we go. This is about the Brick Box Studio LLC, Cloud, Golden Sounds, just as this whole company as the Brick Box Studio, which it's a completely new industry by the grace of the Lord with this amazing vision that he's given me. A completely new thing that's never been done in history. There will be pieces that have been done but never put together as one puzzle. Completely new industry. We're going to call this type of a business a spark beacon. You may already, at the start of this video, be confused what business is actually on the table here. What is the structure? So let's talk about that. The Brick Box Studio LLC is at the very top. This is a business that has been registered with the state of Missouri since 2013, and it's a parent company at the very top. And then underneath that are the Brick Box Studio Kingdom Connection, which is a ministry only, Cloud LLC, which will be under that. It's a main engine for the entire Brick Box Studio. The engine will be Cloud that's powering these things, and out of that engine will come things like Golden Sounds LLC, and more companies, more brands created through Cloud and these networks through Cloud. For the sake of this video, we're going to really focus a lot on Cloud, and then we're going to touch on Golden Sounds just briefly. So here's the vision. I want you to think about something man-made and something really, really amazing. Something that takes your breath away. What are you thinking of? And how did what's amazing happen? Could be a movie, could be Tesla, Apple, some sort of business like Chick-fil-A, technology like Amazon, could be creativity like music. You're like, wow, how did they write that? How did they perform that? How did they do that? I'll tell you how that happened. It happened by the fact that they had the resources, they had the services, they had the talent, they had the ideas, and they had the connections. And a big focus of what we're doing with Cloud and really the whole Brick Box Studio is connections. It's a recipe for anything great, and people are empowered to do what's amazing and create what is beautiful because of those connections. And as a result, amazing things happen, and we, by the grace of the Lord, are going to empower people to make beautiful things through those connections, using their talent, using their ideas. Many people don't have resources and services they need. And so we're going to be able to provide that talent and those ideas with those connections that are needed, so that they can get the services they need and they can get the resources they need. And what's amazing is at the exact same time that we're doing that, giving the talent and the ideas through connections, the services and resources they need, the resources and services get the talent and ideas that they need. Because any recording studio without musicians is for naught. Any movie studio without actors and sound people and camera crews is for naught. So both need each other through connections. And that's mutual fulfillment. And a huge part of this company, very, very basic principle, but very important, even though it's so elementary, is mutual fulfillment. Which, what is it? First of all, it's the fact that we aim for win-win. We aim to mutually fulfill all parties involved. And you say, well, doesn't everybody do that? No, and I'll tell you why they don't. It's because they're just thinking about themselves. And when you're just thinking about yourself, you don't get win-win all the time. You get lose-win, win-lose, or even lose-lose scenarios. And I've been watching this with companies. We're aiming for win-win. The other thing about mutual fulfillment that's so important is not just that we're aiming for win-win, but that we have two sides, for example. Two sides. One side has needs, the other side has something to offer. And the side that needs something has something to offer that the side that had something needs. And mutual fulfillment is what happens when those get connected together and mutually fulfilled. So, for example, someone needs a job, an employer has a job to offer, and the talent that needs a job has talent to offer, and that employer needs that talent. And that's where mutual fulfillment happens. Enter KaleidoCloud. KaleidoCloud, by the grace of the Lord, is going to be this beautiful, beautiful, massive engine that's pouring out, and not a search engine, but a massive engine that's going to be creating opportunities and connecting opportunities together, connecting the needs with the has, connecting all these different talents with those that need it and opportunities with those that need it. And it's going to be very, very beautiful. Let's talk about the pieces in this kaleidoscope of color, of different colors. And all these pieces are going to come to the table with things they offer, and they're going to come to the table with needs. And we're aiming for mutual fulfillment. So here are the pieces. Pink is consumers. Red is positions and payroll. Orange is freelancers. Yellow is creators. This could be, by the way, positions and payroll are people looking for jobs. Yellow are creators. This could be inventors. This could be musicians. This could be someone with an idea for a creative project. Many different types of creators. It could be artists of different types. Creators. Green is investors. Blue is asset monetizers. These are people that have some sort of asset, whether it be gear, software, hardware, equipment, real estate, you name it. Tons of people out there that just have all this stuff and they're not being able to make income with it. It's just sitting in a garage or in a third bedroom or in an attic. And so giving people, or maybe they are using it, and so we're putting them on the network as well, but giving people with assets the ability to make money with those. And purple are established businesses and organizations. And these 7 colors will come together through KaleidoCloud to make connections that are needed. Some of them are going to be very basic connections, like, hey, I need social media person, or hey, I need this need on my business fulfilled. Or it could be something as complex as, hey, I've got this idea for this amazing company and I need all the pieces put together. Large range of different kinds of connections, but KaleidoCloud is going to be the medium by which those connections take place, and beautiful things are going to be created. Creativity is going to be unleashed. So let's talk about each of the pieces just briefly in this extreme overview, fastest overview possible. Purple comes to the table needing services, resources, and or talent. There's probably more, but this is an overview, an extreme overview. Needs services, resources, and or talent, and they have money to offer. Many different types of businesses, but in this purple category, all these different types of businesses are needing services, resources, and or talent, and they have money to offer. Primary connections that are going to be needed through KaleidoCloud will be pink consumers. That's a very basic relationship. Businesses needing customers. They're going to need workers. They're going to need freelancers. They're going to need creators eventually. As creators come on the site, they're going to want to have contracts with these creators. They're going to look for funding through investors. They're going to look for assets through these asset monetizers and other purples. So purple on purple is going to be a huge one as well, where other businesses are looking for other businesses and they're being connected through KaleidoCloud. Pink consumers, they're needing goods and services, and they're with money and referrals to other consumers as well. Primary connections that they will be finding through KaleidoCloud will be orange, so freelancers selling directly to consumers through us. I say directly, by means of us selling their goods and services to consumers. Eventually creators with these businesses, organizations, creative projects, music, having sales through KaleidoCloud, and finding these customers through KaleidoCloud. And golden sounds, which we'll get to. which is powered by Kaleidocloud. Blue, asset monetizers, selling directly to, I keep saying directly, selling to consumers through Kaleidocloud. But we're a third party, but also providing great value in there. We're not a leech. We're here to provide value for all parties, all colors involved. So blue, finding connections to consumers through the site, and businesses, finding customers, finding consumers. Red, positions and payroll. I'm very partial to this category because so many people have talents in this world. Everybody has some sort of talent, but many people do not have that privilege of having jobs that fit them well, having jobs that connect with their talent, their passion, their abilities, their talents. So giving people those opportunities to have those positions that fit them well, and income through those positions. And I should say oftentimes benefits as well. More times than not, benefits is another thing that is needed. Red has talents and abilities to offer that are very, very valuable to businesses and organizations. Primary connections that are needed through Kaleidocloud will be yellow and purple, so creators looking to hire people eventually, and established businesses looking to hire people through Kaleidocloud. They're coming to the site, which yellow and purple are a standard needs base on Kaleidocloud. They're coming to Kaleidocloud needing positions filled, and they're with income and benefits to offer to Red. Orange, freelancers, they're needing work and income, and also, I did not list here, they're needing portfolio work as well. So they're needing their portfolios to be built and filled with projects. Very important to a freelancer to have a good portfolio. So work, income, and portfolio filling. They're with talents, abilities, and services, and sometimes their own resources that they bring to the table, whether that be equipment, gear, etc. Talents, abilities, and services, and sometimes resources that they bring to the table. Primary connections that are going to be on the site with freelancers will be yellow and purple, standard needs base on Kaleidocloud, who are needing talent and services. So these creators and these businesses and organizations have talent, or they're going to be needing talent and services that freelancers can provide, and they're with money to provide to those freelancers. Also, consumers, pink category, needing goods and services, and they're with money and being connected through Kaleidocloud. Yellow, creators of many different types, they're needing the ability to make a vision happen. Very, very, very personal to this category because that's who I am. I have a vision, I'm a visionary, but a visionary means nothing without being able to have the people and the resources that are needed to make that vision happen. I'm my own target market. I'm my own first customer, paving a way for others to have resources. So through this pioneering process, being able to help others after me have greater success and greater ability as a creator. So we're needing the ability to make a vision happen, and usually income. I say usually because it's possible someone may just have an idea of an invention or a creative project, but they don't need income from that necessarily. But usually creators such as ourselves want to devote ourselves full time to this, but also provide for our families, and which is a godly thing. And just finished 1 Timothy, it talks about that. And be generous and have income that is needed to not only pay bills, but to be generous. And so we need income. We're with vision and ideas, and oftentimes other talents that accompany the vision. And that's good. We need to bring that to the table. Connections that we'll need as creators will really be almost everything the site has to offer. I did not put pink on there, but I must have left pink off of that. But pink certainly need customers. So everything that Collided Cloud can offer, creators need. Green, investors. A lot of times investors have this, or I certainly think of investors at times as good to go because they have money. And, when they have money, they don't really need anything. And that's not true because they're called investors for a reason. They want return on investment. They want ROI. They're not called savers. They don't just save the money in the bank. They want to make a return on their investment. They have money and they want to make an increase with that money. And they oftentimes want to do something great with that money. And Collided Cloud will definitely provide them wonderful opportunities to do great things with that money, make a difference, make an impact, and make ROI at the same time. They're needing good investment opportunities, and they're with money. Primary connections that are going to be needed through Collided Cloud: yellow and purple, standard needs base, creators needing money, businesses needing money, particularly for business expansion needs or marketing campaigns or additions that are needed. They're coming through to Collided Cloud needing money, and they're with ideas and vision and possibly some infrastructure for investments to make returns, which is needed for the investors. The investors need a vehicle in which to put their seed money, that gas, into the vehicle. But gas without a vehicle means nothing. You can have all the gas in the world and not have a vehicle, and that car is not going to go anywhere. You can have a car without gas, and it means nothing as well. So they need each other. They need each other. They don't just need money. They need a whole infrastructure, and they need ideas, and they need vision, and they need what yellow and purple have to offer. Blue, asset monetizers. They need income. They're with assets, very basic. They have some sort of assets, and they want to make money with that. Primary connections that they'll need through, or want and need through Collided Cloud: yellow and purple, creators needing assets, businesses and organizations needing assets. They're with money or opportunity to monetize assets. So either flat out paying them for those assets, to buy them or rent them, or an opportunity to say, hey, we can't pay you up front, but if you can let us use your assets, then you'll have the opportunity to make income or share in the income through us using those assets. Also, I foresee orange really needing to pair up with blue as well. Freelancers needing assets to do their jobs as well. Also, consumers buying from purple as well. So they're needing goods and services, and they have money. And that makes Collided Cloud. And with Collided Cloud, all these pieces will fit together. They'll connect together. And as each grows in the network and ability, there'll be more and more opportunities. Only connection that I'm outlawing anything that's immoral or anything that's not beautiful, obviously, but inherently in terms of color-to-color relationships, the only color-to-color relationship that I'm out now outlawing, at least at the beginning, I'm willing to reconsider someday, but at least right now, pink to green and vice versa. So I don't want any payday loans or personal loans on the site. Business loans, by all means, can happen through Collided Cloud, but not personal loans. Some of these connections, you're like, I'm not sure how positions and payroll would ever need investors. I don't foresee how they would need asset monetizers. I'm sure in the future there'll be possibilities. I don't think that there's anything that would make me want to outlaw it at this time. Maybe certain practices or industries that we're just going to say are immoral. But yeah, only pink to purple and vice versa is being outlawed. Everything else, connection after connection after connection after connection, and mutually fulfilling one another through this amazing network, through this amazing economy, through this amazing new industry of being a spark beacon. All mutually fulfilled through one network, one platform, one-stop shop for all, coming through Collided Cloud. We're doing a new thing. We're not doing something that's ever been done as a spark beacon, and we're putting things together like crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, collective bargaining power that we find on things like Groupon, ideation, development, creativity fostering, just empowering people with their ideas that are so powerful and the creativity that is so powerful, and connecting these pieces, which is so important through such connection pieces as the matchmaking component and other things that help empower connections to happen through being a spark beacon. We need connections to be made. No static profiles. We do not need a whole bunch of profiles on the site that do not connect together. We need them connecting. And everyone wins in that. It's mutually fulfilling, everybody involved. Those connections can be made through, like I mentioned before, the matchmaking component, like we find on dating sites. There'll be other types of connections being made through search results and queries. That's a very, very basic one that we find on tons of websites out there. Online bidding and online auctions like eBay, personal selling and sales, but many different ways of making connections. Primary being the matchmaking component and search results and queries, but there'll be other ways as well. And that's KaleidoCloud. So talking about golden sounds now, how does that fit in? Well, the Lord has directed me that the first fruits of all this will be golden sounds. The golden sounds will be where we start, but along the way we're building KaleidoCloud as we go. And golden sounds will be a music label, a music network, and a music platform. So people being able to discover music, buy music, invest in music, connect with artists, and artists to make beautiful music. As long as it's beautiful, it needs to be beautiful, beautiful music. Different genres. It can be any genre or almost any genre. There's a few that I'm not interested in, but new genres even, like creating completely new music. But beautiful music is the criteria. So the platform, with Golden Sounds as a platform, there'll be a website and an app just like KaleidoCloud. And there will be pieces, all these different pieces that we find on KaleidoCloud will operate in this platform as an interface to discover music. So pink consumers coming to the platform to discover music, much like we find on Spotify. But different business model, different way of doing things. In some ways, Spotify would be better for people because they can have an unlimited amount of music. But however, Spotify does not give you the ability to do what we empower consumers to do, which is to own the music for a lifetime. Once they buy it, they don't pay the rights to listen to the music. They own the music, and they get to keep the music for a lifetime and connect with that music and be immersed into that music, listen to that music. We want to give them as immersive of a music experience as possible, where people can connect into the music and into the message of the music, and into the artist, and connect with the artist as well. When it comes to listening to the music, they'll get one free play per album. So people will, with the purchasing, not only get to sample the music with like a 30-second sample, but they get one free play per album with their account. And then they can buy the music and keep the music for life if they like that music. And as time goes on, we want to give more and more value as time goes on. And that's true for all the pieces of not only Golden Sounds, but KaleidoCloud, value-added proposition after value-added proposition after value-added proposition as time goes on, with more and more tools, more and more resources, more and more value that's given. But even from the outset, allowing consumers to buy music and keep the music and have music experiences with digital albums and then physical albums, which we'll talk about in a moment, that'll allow them to get immersed into that with lyrics sheets and photos and videos and being able to connect with their artists and be able to be connected. Also, the ability, they're not obligated to, but the ability to invest in music if they want and make returns on that music. So an investment platform as well. and turning everyday people of pink consumers into green, into investors, which will happen very much in Kaleidocloud as well, turning everyday people into the ability to invest, easily invest, and invest the amount that they want. It doesn't have to be high amounts. It could be just $5, $10, $20. It could be $200. Could be $2,000. But being able to share in the percentage of the net income of the music. And like I mentioned before, being able to connect with musicians as well. Now, alongside that, with that will come creators, like musicians, being able to connect with fans on the other side of that and connect with everyone needed for production as well. And have distribution and sales taken care of. That's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing that I'm going to unpack as fast as I can in this short amount of time in this video. With these consumers, they're going to be immersed into the music with immersive music experiences and be able to upgrade experiences for physical albums, which I'll call assemblage box sets. And with those box sets, and alongside not just the box sets, but the production of the digital albums that people can buy for, I'm going to price them at $10, the digital albums. Very fair price, $10 for an album. With those albums, both digital and physical, there's going to be freelancers needed. There's going to be asset monetizers needed. There's going to be businesses and organizations needed. And being able to provide them opportunities to make income and use talents for making this beautiful music and these amazing experiences, and thus creating mutual fulfillment. So supplying all the needs of album creation, allowing freelancers of different kinds, whether they be woodworkers or studios or music producers or songwriters or floral arrangers, photographers, graphic designers, 3D printers, many different kinds in the orange and blue and purple category, giving them opportunities. As you can see with Golden Sounds and as you can see with Kaleidocloud, this is a massive opportunity engine that's giving opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to people just like crazy to mutually fulfill needs and do what's amazing. And then it's also allowing creators, I did not put that there with the pink, but allowing not creators, consumers with the pink category, the ability to be connected to projects and albums that they are interested in. Oh, I didn't put, so pink, I left that off for a good reason. Really, I'm putting that focused on the orange, blue, and purple also being connected to projects and albums that they are interested in through connections. And on Golden Sounds on the platform, having search results with queries and the matchmaking component to connect people to those projects. Okay, when it comes to those physical box sets, when you think of a box set, they're amazing, but they're quite costly, and they're really for super fans that are willing to fork over high prices. But we've got an amazing strategy here, with the grace of the Lord, an amazing strategy of how to produce amazing albums and box sets to make these physical albums that are affordable for the consumer, but also worthwhile and profitable for the creators making each of the pieces, whether it be the photography, the woodworking, etc. When it comes to these box sets, they can be made out of different types. It could be traditional, like I'm envisioning a record album, which is 12.375 by 12.375 inches traditionally, is a record album. So about the size of a record album in terms of the shape. It could be cardboard like a record album is known to be, but it could also, I really see the use of wood, making that out of wood. Could be plastic, could be fabric, could be a mixed use of fabric and wood, or metal eventually. There could be different types of mediums to make these albums but different creators being able to make those, like woodworkers. I just talked yesterday with Rusty. Rusty, if you're watching this, thank you very much for your time yesterday. Rusty's very interested in making these albums as a woodworker, and this would provide his business opportunities to make additional income and give him the ability to use his talents to make beautiful things. So there's that. So you have the wood box, but with those wood boxes, and by the way, with the wood box, it could be out of different materials. I really like the idea of cocoa wood, which is readily available in the Philippines and very affordable, which we can manufacture there. But it doesn't have to be cocoa wood. It could be many different types of wood. We want to make it as affordable as possible for the consumer, but also make it beautiful. And like I said, it could be cardboard, like the traditional record album, or it could be fabric, or plastic, or make mixed media, or have upgrade options where people can make light boxes with different layers. So many different possibilities, and eventually different shapes as well. But with the box album, having booklets inside the box out the boxes, again, immersing these consumers into as immersive of a music experience as possible. So booklets that are printed by printing enthusiasts, having lyric sheets, photos, 3D printed materials. Major, if you're watching, Major Cardin, thank you for providing a prototype there. We're working on that a little bit more, but 3D printed, having posters inside that are being printed that immerse them into the music. Could have floral arrangements or potpourri that is mixed, fragrances, just as much as we can to immerse people into the experiences. Could be Viewmasters as well, T-shirts, although T-shirts, when it comes to T-shirts, we'll also have on the site the ability to throw in where people can buy merch through Golden Sounds as well, just like you would see at a live event with a merch table, being able to have T-shirts for sale that people can buy, bumper stickers, picks for guitars, patches, pins, quilts, you name it. Tons of different merch options, and CDs and vinyl records as well. Main playback, however, will be digital albums. So even with the physical albums, they can upgrade to having records. They can throw records into it or CDs, but the main playback will still continue to be the $10 digital album. It's just they can upgrade to the physical box set to accompany that, to give them a more immersive experience, but we want it as affordable as possible. And we have some very amazing and interesting ideas of how to do that, which we won't talk about here. But with that, being able to empower these different creators of different kinds, woodworkers, graphic designers, photographers, 3D printers, people with Cricut machines, painters, you name it, all these different creatives on the Kaleidocloud network with opportunities, with Golden Sounds as an interface in the context of music. Even those that make, there's going to be a need for people making headbands, which I've got some connections to that, and using that in a very creative way as well. There's just a ton of different opportunities that are being created here with Golden Sounds and Kaleidocloud. We're going to be creating albums. So big focus at the beginning and all the way through, I foresee, is album production, the creation of albums, sale of albums, etc., but eventually getting into creating live events of different kinds, whether that be stadiums, coffee houses, non-traditional settings like maybe different stations that people go to with music, could be smaller concert halls, different. It could be streaming with live events that are online, all sorts of different live events, same network, same label, same process of Golden Sounds, but to create not just albums, but live events as well. And then already we've got contracted recording studios and production teams to make that. But as time goes on, there'll be more and more studios on the network. Studios like shout out to the 111 with Austin Perkins. Love this man's heart, love his vision, and we're part of the 111 with leadership as well. And God has connected us together. It's amazing what's going on at the 111. So check them out. They're amazing. But we're already contracted with the 111 for music production needs. As a label, we're going to be discovering talent all over the world, handling A&R, which is artist and repertoire, with relationships with the talent and helping them with their needs, talent development. Label is a dirty word, by the way. I almost hesitate to use that, but we're not going to be like other labels that cheat people. We're not even taking royalties from the music. The people can keep their music. We're just having the rights to the sales of the albums. And the number one catch that we've got is not financial or royalties or anything like that. It is the fact that we have creative sovereignty. That means that we can say, while we are partnering with the vision and the talents of the creatives, we're saying, no, you can't go that direction because we're not going to make trash. We're not going to make dirty music. So, we have the ability to say, hey, we're actually going to go that another direction, or we're not going to use that word. That's really the main catch of Golden Sounds. We want to be as fair and as honoring as possible to everyone, while at the same time honoring God, especially overall, and making beautiful music. It doesn't have to be Christian music, and these aren't all Christians that are making this music, although we will have a lot of worship music and, honoring God and encouraging the saints with music. But, Romans 1 says, by what was made, what was created, God was revealed, just like Sunsets, which is incidentally going to be the first album that we record. Is the Sunsets album, but just like every sunset does not have a credit screen that rolls after it, or when you look on each flower, it doesn't say John 3:16 on it. It shouts out the glory of God. We just want what is beautiful being created, whatever genre that is, as long as it's beautiful. We want to work with these artists and help develop their talents, help their abilities, whether they're instrumentalists or vocalists, you name it, or songwriters. We want people to grow in their talents and make beautiful music. We want to issue, manage, and enforce contracts. That sounds really harsh, but it's really necessary and beautiful, and I have experience with that. When I worked at Gig Salad, handle the legal needs. We want to offer that value to people. So we want to be able to be there to handle these contracts that are being made through these connections and make sure that it's in those terms. Again, it's not going to be unfair for the artists. They're getting a very fair percentage. I believe at this time it should be 1/6 of the net income that's coming through each album. That's a lot better than other labels. They're getting 1/6 of the net income. They're able to keep the music and the royalties of that music. If some movie produces it, they don't need to pay us any money. But we want to be there to issue these contracts, manage them, and enforce that so that all parties involved are treated fairly, and handling any legal needs, and handling customer service with those sales, and providing administration to production. So this production process of creating this music, selling this music, we are providing the administration for that. And a huge one at the bottom here, huge one, is providing distribution and marketing and handling sales. This is massive. We are the distribution and marketing channel. That is who we are. We're not needing to do what other labels do and try to connect with Walmart or other mediums of selling. We are the distribution. We are the marketing for this music. Golden Sounds is the platform that is selling this music and handling sales. And as a label, empowering creatives and others with various kinds of talents, opportunities to use them and make income. That's what we're doing as well. Provide the world very, very beautiful music that glorifies God through what is created, just like I mentioned, Romans 1. That's Golden Sounds in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's Golden Sounds in a nutshell, and it will be beautiful. That's Cloud in a nutshell, and that's the Brick Box Studio in a nutshell. Thank you so much for your time. Feel free to reach out anytime.